FPL Physio here, and this is what you need for your free hit 16. This is an overview of some of the teams, their projected expected goals, and their projected clean sheet odds. So if we take a look at it very, very quickly, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, and City on top. It's sorted by projected expected goals. And what we immediately see is that Arsenal seems to offer great value, either by offensive players or defensive players. A clean sheet odds of chance 63% is incredibly high. Wolves just played United yesterday, and they are absolutely horrible. So either if you go with Arsenal or Arsenal defenders or offensive players, I think you will be good. Liverpool with a projected expected goals of 2.02. Um, that's an interesting one because we have all this drama with Mo Salah, and the dressing room seems to be one big mess. So I'll be a bit cautious there. And then we have United, Chelsea, City, Villa, and so forth, so on. Let's jump right into my free hit drafts. So first free hit drafts is gonna be stacking up on Arsenal defensive players. We got Raya, Hinkapie, and Timber. The Arsenal chances of a clean sheet is very, very high. So by stacking up, you also increase the upside of your free hit team. But of course, it also offers more variance and risk. Um, but Raya, Timber, and Hinkapie, who seems to be quite guaranteed starters for now, with Gabriel still out, Calafiori with is not going to play in game week 16 due to 5 yellow cards. So these three I think will definitely start. Then also Chelsea, Cucurella. If we just take a look very, very quickly here, the Chelsea odds for a clean sheet, as you can see, is 0.41. So also pretty decent chances actually for a clean sheet. So Cucurella is also in this draft because of his offensive threat as well. And Chelsea has looked quite good defensively. So I think by doing 3 Arsenal defenders and 1 Chelsea defenders, you'll be you're pretty well set for this free hit here. Then on midfield we got Wilson, Bruno, Foden, Palmer, Anderson. Now Palmer is a bit of a doubt, not in terms of if he'll be ready, but in terms of expected minutes. How much can we expect from him? Is it another 60 minute match, or are we looking at nearly full time? We know that he's not playing the midweek in Champions League, so that'll of course increase his chances for at least a 70 to 75 minute match. But we also don't know how, like, what is his level. His underlying stats in the first match was um, was pretty poor, to be honest. Then we got Foden on a heater. Foden underlying stats as well is also extremely good. The last 3 or 4 matches, they have been consistently good. He has, of course, overperformed. Um, any player will overperform if they score between 12 and 15 points in 3 consecutive game weeks. We got Bruno. Bruno just hauled major haul against Wolves, and with so many routes to points, I think he's a must-have for this free hit. Wilson and Anderson is there for offering cheap options. Um, Anderson is actually also, if you look at the models, he's also predicted to a decent amount of points. I think it's 5.1. Because he's such a DEFCON beast and a bonus point scoring beast. I think in a match home against Spurs, I think it's I would have him, to be honest, in all my free hit drafts. On top, I've put Haaland and Ekitike for this draft. Haaland, of course. Ekitike because of Salah is out and Gakpo is apparently out. I wouldn't go with uh, any Liverpool defenders or midfielders. I just don't see the value there. But Ekitike could offer some spice. This was just the first draft. Let's look at the next one here. This is a bit more spread out. Brentford is also a major favorite this week. They're playing home against Leeds. Great fixture. So of course some Brentford players in there. Now this one has Raya, Timber, and Saka. Saka is a really good choice for this game week. Home against Wolves. Wolves defensively, I just said it. They're they're so horrible. It's really crazy to see. And you still got the two Arsenal defenders, and you got Collins and Anderson. Collins and Anderson both had very, very high expected minutes, of course. Also do offer a bit of offensive threats on the set pieces. And then you got Bruno, Saka, and Anderson, and Damsgaard. Damsgaard is that's a differential for sure. But home against Leeds, I think he was rested a bit in the last game week, so we could see him play at least 70 to 80 minutes this one. It's a bit of a spicy pick, but home against Leeds, I mean, it's a game that Brentford have to win, and Damsgaard is their most creative player now, also with Kevin Schade out. So you could look at also a team like this. It's a bit more spread out. You got the Arsenal defenders, the Brentford defender, and the Fulham defender. So the risk is a bit more spread out. Of course, we do have 3 Arsenal and 3 Brentford players. So we are stacking up a bit, but it's not stacking up in the terms of using 3 defenders from the same team or 3 offensive players from the same team. Ekitike also in this free hit, and Thiago as well. Thiago is close to being a must-have home against Leeds. His underlying stats is great. Apparently they get a penalty every goddamn match. So Thiago should be in most of your drafts. Now let's move on to a draft without Ekitike. Now here we got Timber, Hincapie, Kelleher, and Cucurella as the defensive option. Kelleher from Brentford home against Leeds. Brentford underlying stats defensively is okay, not great, but they do offer great chances to get a clean sheet. They are projected to have about a 35% chance of getting a clean sheet, so I guess that's okay. Cucurella again, offensive threat. Then the midfield is Bruno, Saka, Palmer as the main ones. Bruno, talked about him, almost a must-have. Saka, almost a must-have. Palmer is a bit more doubtful, but home against Everton could be a good one. Anderson, we talked about him, DEFCON and bonus point beast, and Thiago and Haaland. I think this free hit is interesting, but it's I don't think I would go with it, to be honest. I would maybe think that Palmer is too big of a gamble. But it depends if he doesn't play midweek, as we know he doesn't, and what is the latest updates on him. Then he could be a nice punt for sure. I'm not saying he's a bad pick at all. Let's move on to the fourth one here. So this one is where we're stacking up a bit. So we're stacking up on 2 Arsenal defenders and 2 Fulham defenders or defensive players. Fulham away against Burnley is a pretty nice fixture. Anderson, we talked about him, DEFCON beast, but they just doesn't seem to keep a lot of clean sheets. Leno, just to add this, increase the upside. So when you're stacking up, you're also increasing the upside. So um, it's done on purpose here, of course. So by stacking up on two teams, if both Fulham and Arsenal keep a clean sheet, you're already guaranteed about 24 points. Um, so here we're also stacking up on United midfielders. We got Cunha and Bruno, and it's home against Bournemouth, not the greatest fixture, but United, to be fair, at home I mean, they're playing well. It's defensively they're a bit more shaky. Saka again, Haaland again, Thiago again, Anderson again. I think you can kind of get the picture, right? So I've made this. If I were to use my free hit, I would have these 7 players. 7, right? Yeah, 7 players in all of my free hit. I would have Raya. That's the closest you can get to guaranteed 6 points. I would have Timber, also due to the high chances of projected clean sheet, and he's an offensive threat. His underlying stats is just great. Bruno, so many routes to points, it's crazy. Saka home against Wolves. I talked about Wolves many times now. They're horrible, horrible. The only thing that could change it is that if Wolves fire their manager, that would actually it wouldn't make me nervous at all. But when you fire a manager in such a situation, the first thing you need to sort out is the defense, and they could have a new manager bounce. But let's see. I would have Saka in there. I would almost on all my free hit have Anderson. He's cheap. He's almost guaranteed 4 points. He'll for sure get a lot of DEFCON home against Tottenham. And he's just a bonus point scoring machine. So he also offers a lot of flexibility. Haaland, of course, and Thiago home against Leeds. He's on penalty. His underlying stats is great. Everything seems proper. Sorry. So these are my some free hit drafts. I would say um, I don't think it's I don't think it's hard to make a very decent free hit. Um, I would put these 7 players in, and then I would try to be a bit creative, add 1 or 2 differential in there, um, and uh, and maybe aim for some stacking. Um, so I hope um, you could use this. Let me know in the comments if you're going to use the free hit. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you got. And yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you.